Hi friends, and welcome to Art with Miss Zoe. I'm your host, Miss Zoe. Today we're going to explore pastels by creating a pastel pumpkin. You can also turn your pumpkin into a jack-o'-lantern like I did if you want to make it extra spooky. Let's check out today's art activity. For today's art activity, you will need cardstock, black construction paper, chalk pastels, oil pastels, scissors, and glue. Once you have everything together, let's get started. The first step is to draw a pumpkin with our black oil pastel. So I'll begin by drawing this long oval in the center of my paper. Then I'm going to draw a C shape to the left of that oval that kind of makes it look like it's going behind. Then I'll do that 2 more times. So one more C shape, and then my last C shape. And you see my C shapes are getting smaller the further left they go. I'm going to do the same steps on the right side. So C shape, but it's backwards now. Then a smaller C shape, and an even smaller one. To draw my stem, I'm going to draw a curved line, and then a straight line at the top, and then a curved line back down to my pumpkin. And my pumpkin's a little lopsided, and that's fine because pumpkins are very rarely symmetrical. You could change this up, make it a little curly or something, but just remember you're going to have to cut it out. Now I'm going to add my chalk. So I'm going to only put orange on the edges of my shapes except for the center one. So I'm going to color the whole thing orange for my center oval. And then on my C shapes, I'm going to just go on the outer edge of those shapes. So you see I'm going on the edge of the shape that's furthest away from the center. And that's because we're going to add shading later. So I'm going to leave that part blank for now. I have my chalk in a fancy little holder so that my fingers didn't get dirty while I was filming this, but you do not have to have the fancy holder. You can do it just fine with a regular chalk pastel. All right, now to add my highlights, I'm going to use yellow, and I'm first going to color in the center of my pumpkin, and then I'm going to do a line along the outside edge of those shapes, just like I did with the orange. I'm just going to go over top, but I'm not going to be as wide with those. And then last, I'm going to add my shadows with my brown. So I'm going to color in the inside edge of my shapes to make it look like the shape in front of it is shading the shape behind it. All right, now I'm going to add a little more chalk to my center because I noticed that my orange wasn't dark enough. And now I'm going to blend everything with my finger. And so you see I'm going in a circular shape for my center, and then I'm going to do this half moon shape for my other shapes. And there we go, nice and blended. Now I'm going to color in my stem. So I'm going to start with a yellow center for my highlight, and then I'm going to use green on the outside edges. My green chalk was not participating today. It did not want to be my friend, so it's a little light, and that's okay. Now I'm going to blend that in, and voila, pumpkin stem. Okay, so now I'm going to go over my lines again with my oil pastel, with my black pastel. And it's okay if they're not perfect. And now I'm going to cut this out. There we go. now I'm going to set my pumpkin aside and I'm going to work on the grass. So to create my grass, I'm going to start with my chalk. So I'm going to start with my green chalk and I'm going to create a bunch of lines across the bottom of my paper. And then I'm going to go below that and add another section of lines and maybe one in between too. Then I'm going to do the same thing with my yellow. I'm going to go all the way across with that yellow. You see I'm making these short lines. And now I'm going to blend this in with my finger. And that's going to create the backdrop for my grass. Now I'm going to use my dark green oil pastel. And I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to do these short lines all the way across. And I'll do about 3 rows of those short lines. Now I'm going to go in with my light green. And now I'm going to go in with my yellow. And so this just creates a nice layered effect that makes it look like there's grass, blades of grass. All right, now I'm going to glue my pumpkin on. Make sure you use plenty of glue. I didn't use enough glue and my pumpkin didn't want to stick. I also should not have probably put my pumpkin down on my black paper because you can see there's a little orange spot up there, but that's okay. I can wipe that away. Add a little more glue because I didn't add enough. And there we go. All right, now it's time to draw our moon and stars. So I'm going to grab my white oil pastel. First, I'm going to put the lid on my glue. Now I'm going to draw my moon. So I'm going to start with a C shape. And then I'm going to draw a bigger C shape to the right of that. And I messed my moon up. I didn't like how it looked, so I just adjusted it. Now I'm going to color this in and maybe make it a little bigger. There we go. There's my moon. Now I'm going to create these diamond shapes for my stars. So it's just 4 curvy lines. I'm sorry I didn't go slowly on that. And now I'm just going to do small little dots for my other stars. There we go. Your stars don't have to look like mine. You could draw your stars however you like. And if you want, you can add a face to your pumpkin to make it a jack-o'-lantern. So I'm going to start off with some triangle eyes. And then I'm going to draw a little toothy smile. And your pumpkin face doesn't need to look like mine. Your jack-o'-lantern can look however you want. I'm going to color that smile in. And now I'm done. I hope you had fun creating this pastel pumpkin. Thanks for watching and keep making.